we also have to mention it in the A part, right, in step 3. So all we have to really say here is that this law just defines what something is. Okay? A check that is made out to cash is a bearer instrument, and that's payable to anyone. Okay? It's the same as cash. Now, if you didn't put this in, that's fine. It better go somewhere in step 2 of your analysis. But if you didn't put it in for step 1, that's okay. Because realistically, what we're really talking about is forgery. This is what's required. This is a full step 3, part 1. But this is really what's required. Questions? All right. So now that we have looked at the component parts, the elements of what forgery is, and we've also listed some helpful definitions, let's go on to part 2. We're now applying the facts of the client's case to the elements. And this is the crux of the analysis. This is the crux of what we're talking about. So anyone think they can properly apply the facts of the case to the law? Anyone want to take a shot? Now's the time to volunteer because there's really no wrong answers. Okay, we're going to let the new girl suffer the brunt of the weight in this class. That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I did it this way.
Okay.
So if according to section 3236, right, it is a crime to forge a signature, and client found the check, and this check did not belong to him.
Okay.
And it means that he forged his signature onto the check.
Did he forge his signature? Did he forge any signatures?
Oh no, this check was completely made out, but on the back that means that he put his signature.
But did he forge any signature?
No.
Okay. That's important. He didn't forge anything, right?
But at least he knew that he's defrauding.
Is he?
Yes.
I mean, he's injuring somebody.
Well, let me ask you this. How many of you think he committed fraud?
No, I don't think so, because of the second part. The rule of law.
And that's what we're going to focus our analysis on. You got to look at the elements of fraud.
But if we would only have the first rule of law, is he guilty for that?
Nope.
Still not?
Still not, because you need all 3 elements to make fraud.
Oh.
Right? So let's go through what the analysis may look like. And again, this is my analysis. Your analysis should be similar, but certainly different, I would imagine. But basically, we should all have the same kind of drawing conclusions. All right? Couple of basic facts. The check was made out to cash, and it was completely filled out. Right? According to section 45.3.109D, such an instrument is a bearer instrument. It's negotiable by transfer alone, and is the same as cash. It is as if he found $100 on the ground. That's what we're saying. The client merely went to the bank and exchanged the check for cash. It's as if he went to the bank with a $100 bill he found on the street and said, "I'd like this in 20s, please."
So this check is like the money order?
Not a money order. This check is like cash. You make a check out to cash, and it's completely filled out. Anybody can cash it because that's who it's made out to cash. That's what this is saying. Okay. Section 30-236 requires forgery. There has to be a false making or altering of a signature. In this case, the client did not falsely sign the name or alter his signature. He signed his name on the back as he was instructed by the teller. Okay? And this is how we take a look at the law, and now we have applied it to the facts. And your analysis of this case should look something similar to this. Right? We have the key facts. We're defining what these facts are. And then we are applying the elements of the law to these facts. Okay? Notice what I haven't said yet in my analysis. Whether he's guilty or not. We're not up to that yet. We're just analyzing. You can kind of tell by the language I'm using, that's where we're leading up to. Meaning that in order for something to occur, this has to happen, and it hasn't happened. So the language kind of foretells where I'm going, which is fine, but I haven't made any conclusions yet. Why? I'm not in that section yet. I'm still in the analysis part. Good.
Is any of this rule of law higher than another, or they're the same, they're both primary?
Well, let's answer that question for those of us that have been here. Are the two laws that we're examining primary law?
Sure. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? What are these two types of law?
Statute.
Statutes. Enacted law. Right? Both of these are enacted law. They are state statutes.
So they're at the same level?
Yes.
Okay.
They are primary. Now, if you want to be overly technical about it, technically speaking, this would be higher than this because this is dealing with the issue at hand. This is defining a term used here. So this is a definitional statute. But they're of equal footing as far as the hierarchy is concerned. Okay? And lastly, now we have our conclusion as part of the analysis. He did not commit the crime of forgery. You look confused. Why are we confused? What confused you? Let me back up.
Because the first paragraph he said that he just committed on the rule of law
Where?
on section 3-236.
Section 30-236 requires that for forgery to occur, there has to be a false making or altering of any signature. That's one of the three requirements. In this case, the client did not falsely sign or alter any signature.
So if the signature would be missing on the front of the cash?
Then that means that the check is not completely filled out.
So
And if the client were to sign somebody's name there, now we have fraud.
Okay.
Oh.
So then he does it in the back, that means he's receiving.
When you do it on the back, that means you're endorsing. It's your own signature. You're not falsely signing anything. It's your signature. In fact, he's being told to sign it by the teller. Right?
Okay.
The check itself was completely filled out. It was completely made. It had the date, it had the payee, in this case cash, it had the amount, and it had the signature. It was done. It was as if he had found cash on the ground. And that's why he didn't commit the crime. That's why we're going to argue he didn't commit the crime of forgery.
And the account holder is responsible for this.
Yeah, the account holder is fucked. That's his problem. Whenever you make a check out to cash, don't sign it until you're ready to give it to whomever you're giving it to. Because as soon as you sign it, it becomes a bearer instrument like we have here. New York is the same law, basically. Okay. Now, we're not done yet, of course, although as you can see, this is the crux of what we're doing. This is the most important part. But there's also part 3 to step 3, which is counter-argument. Not really going to make any. A counter-argument is that the courts may interpret false making to include endorsements by individuals who know they are not entitled to the money. That's what some of you were saying before. Now, this is not in the facts here. It's not in the case law. If this was an issue and I didn't give you the rules of law and you had to research it on your own, this is probably a case you would have to find. But because it's not included here, we don't worry about it. But certainly, we may want to entertain this notion that, hey, courts may have interpreted this statute differently, and that if you know it's not meant for you, it could still be considered fraud. So this is an avenue of research we may want to continue. And if you can think of any other counter arguments, I am welcome to hear them. This is the only one I could think of. Right? Questions?
Oh.
It doesn't work, it doesn't need to be up.
No, it doesn't work still, for a few months already. I had this class last semester.
Questions about counter-argument. Does everybody see how counter-argument works? Is that your
Part one?
Hmm?
Part one of that?
Part one of what?
Of the 3 steps.
Part 1
Yeah.
is just identifying the rule of law.
Okay.
Once you've identified it in step 2, you're now breaking it down in step 3. Apparently, you were not alone. Thank you. Good. Those that are taking pictures.
Yes.
Good.
And again, this is the counter argument. You're saying, listen, he's not guilty, but we can see that the other side may come back with this. We don't know what the answer is, so probably further research is required. Just because we don't know. They didn't give us any case law in this hypothetical.
A court may consider such a signature to be false.
Which leads us to step 4. Our last step, which is the C in IRAC, the conclusion. In summary, under section 45-3109D, the check that the client signed, like cash, was a bearer instrument negotiable by transfer. Section 30-236 requires that for forgery, there has to be a false writing or a false signature. In this case, the client did not falsely sign a name or any signature. He signed his name as instructed. Not guilty. Personally, as a style choice, I always like to have the last line, my conclusion. The client did not commit forgery. Now, because there is a counter argument that we can't answer, as a good paralegal, I would also argue case law should be reviewed to ensure the courts have not interpreted false making to include an endorsement on the back of a check. Okay? Because we don't know. We have no idea. But we may want to look into this, because if the courts do consider that, our client is now guilty. Right? So again, this is your summary of the first 3 steps. This is your conclusion. This is kind of your hey, afterthought, look at me. Questions? All right. And basically, that is what you're going to be doing for your assignment that is due on Friday. On Friday, you need to make sure you go upload before noon into Blackboard. Okay? The assignment we just did today, number 2, that's the first part, and the second part is assignment number 3 from chapter 2. Again, if you do not have the book, I have given it to you here, so there is no excuse for not doing it. You do not need to research anything. Everything is included in the 2 examples. Okay? If you do not have any questions, you are free to go. You can start working on the project now. For Monday, please make sure you have read chapter 3. Okay, chapter 3, one second. Chapter 3 involves, statutes.
Constitution, statutes, and
Yeah, we're going to be looking at statutes and statutory construction. I guarantee you will be bored to tears, but it is very important. It is, again, a lot of what you do is chapter 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.
like the administration law also we're going to learn about?
Yeah, we're going to be looking at administration law as well. We're going to spend less time on administrative law or court rules. The majority of our time is going to be on statutes and constitutions.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
So, for the assignment for the answer, we have to do it exactly like part 1, part 2, part 3, and then.
Yeah, you got to do it exactly as I broke it down for you. That's how you should be
Alright.
doing it.
That was the question.
Yeah. Now again, you don't have to do it that
What do
way,
what do you buy the
but
book?
certainly if you do it that
What do
way,
you buy?
you won't miss anything. You'll be able to get at least
Okay.
partial credit for everything, even if it's
But I
not
need
correct.
to,
If something's not correct and then you're missing stuff,
Oh.
then you don't get
I
any
think you can get
credit.
it from like Amazon or
So
something.
if you break it down
Amazon,
like
right?
that, you'll always know. I
So
didn't
we're gonna use
forget
this book for 2 semesters, right?
Yeah, you're going to have it for the next semester.